Now.
On 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
6:06 now as we charge through this Monday morning news cycle, and every Monday it's always sort of a Mount Everest to climb in terms of show prep because we got a lot to talk about. We're going to get you through it, and we got some help in that regard. Coming up at 7:05, Joe DeGeneva, former U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. 7:35, Trevor Maddich on the Commanders' triumph this weekend. And at 8:05, Maryland State Senator Justin Reedy. It's Larry O'Connor with Julie Gunlock, the effervescent and absolutely ebullient Julie Gunlock.
Oh, wow.
Morning,
Look,
Julie.
You're pulling out those big words because you're now a college professor.
Word of the day situation here. Yeah, exactly.
Professor. Am I going to have to start calling you Professor Larry?
Yes. Yes, you do have to start calling me Professor Larry.
Are you going to ask me to call you Dr. Larry soon? Say,
no,
I'm talking.
not a doctor.
I'm talking.
Not quite yet.
Okay.
Yeah, for those just joining us, I'm in Hillsdale College, teaching a class at Hillsdale on a fellowship for the next week and a half, 2 weeks actually. So we're in Battleground, Michigan, and I'm going to be touching Indians with all the local residents here to sort of figure out what's going on with this electorate here. I'm going to give you my prediction on Michigan by the time I'm done here, by the end of next week. But I got to tell you, if a presidential campaign is about imagery and about photo ops and about sort of political stunts that sort of capture the imagination of the electorate, well, we saw something that we never thought we'd see before. I mean, let's just get right into it here, Michael. Cut 10, please.
McDonald's is our kind of place. It's such a happy place. Happy place.
Yes. There was a McDonald's in the Philadelphia area that was definitely a happy place, as the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump, with his signature red tie and white dress shirt, donned a fry cook apron and manned the pit of hot grease to fry those frozen fresh potatoes.
Yeah,
and make a perfect batch of fries.
And man, the drive-through, not an easy task.
And of course, listen, this would be your typical political stunt in any sort of given election because this is what candidates do, right? They show up and they do this sort of thing. But this one resonated even more because you'll remember this stunning bit of journalistic integrity from Drew Barrymore. Remember when she did that interview with Drew Barrymore and Drew was saying how we need a mamala and all that stuff. And the issue of Kamala Harris working at McDonald's came up. Here, take a listen.
My co-pilot, who has a very hard-hitting question for you. I hope that's okay.
Absolutely.
Ross?
Yes. Hello, Madam Vice President. It's me, Ross. Hi. So nice to meet you. I want to ask a question about a topic that really unites America. Fast food. Okay, so here's the deal. I heard a rumor that you worked at McDonald's. Is this true?
I did. Yes, I did work at McDonald's.
Okay, that's honestly, that's all we need to hear. By the way, I heard a rumor means campaign staffers say, hey, ask her about McDonald's.
That's right. Make her look real. Make her relatable. Right.
Bill Clinton has used this as a talking point on the campaign trail on behalf of Kamala. Cut 13.
When she was young, she worked at McDonald's, and she greeted every
Cut
person
14.
with that 1,000-watt smile.
Let's get to 1,000-watt smile, and then I'd buy a Big Mac from her. I'll tell you what. And here's cut 14. Barack Obama trying the same thing.
Kamala Harris is ready to do the job. This is a leader who has spent her life fighting on behalf of people who need a voice and a champion. Somebody who was raised in the middle class, who worked a summer job at McDonald's while she earned a degree.
All right. Please. So, yeah. Now, Washington, I think it was the Washington Free Beacon who went on a hunt for this and talked to McDonald's Corporation. They talked to, spoke with the organization that manages the franchise and said, can you give us any sort of verification of this? Which McDonald's did she work with? And by the way, a summer job while she earned a college degree. Now, does that mean she did it while she was here at D.C.?
Right.
For Howard University? Was it when did she go back home to Quebec? By the way, mom and dad are college professors. Can I ask you something, Julie?
Yeah.
Do you have you ever met college professors? Not like here at Hillsdale. I mean the typical elitist. I'm a college professor at Berkeley kind of college professor.
Yes.
Their kid comes home and says, "I'm going to get a job at McDonald's over the summer." Do you know any college professor? They're such snobs. They are such status hoes.
Absolutely.
They're not. You know what that? No kid of mine is working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
There's
way.
no possible way. Her mother was a nurse, wasn't she? Wasn't she like a healthcare professional?
But Larry, it's more important to get to what the Free Beacon found out. There's no evidence.
There's no record at all.
There's no record at all. McDonald's found no record of her ever working there. I've worked fast food. There is a record. I was paid. I got paychecks. Of course. Yes. I paid taxes. I was in high school, but I got regular paychecks. I was on the books.
Even beyond that, the basic questions that I just asked. Well, wait a minute. This was during college summer. Were you still here in D.C.? Was it in D.C. because you went to Howard University? Was it one of these Washington? Can you tell us which McDonald's? She won't answer any of those questions.
None.
And the one time it came up in a hard-hitting interview with Stephanie Ruhle at MSNBC, this is the best we got.
Your opponent almost every day seems to be talking about this. So I just want to ask you yes or no. At any point in your life, have you served 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, working out at McDonald's? Yes or no? That's it.
I have.
Okay. Now the other job.
I love that. Yes or no? That's it.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I need to know. So, of course, Donald Trump has been hammering her, saying there's no way she worked at McDonald's. She didn't work at McDonald's. She's lying about it. So what did Donald Trump do? He went to work for a McDonald's. They shut down a franchise because of Secret Service and because of all the security concerns. On Sunday, yesterday, a franchise in the greater Philadelphia area shut itself down to accommodate this thing. And it was great for McDonald's, by the way.
Are you
The
kidding?
manager was there. The staff was there. The manager puts the apron on him, teaches him how to do the French fries.
I will say one thing, too, Larry. I have actually been going to McDonald's more lately because of their $5 deal. I've got 3 hungry teenage boys, and that $5 deal, I cannot believe that $5 deal. Larry, have you had their $5 deal yet? Are you familiar with it?
I have not had their 5. I have had their 2 for $3 thing. You can get like a McDouble and a McChicken.
Yeah, no, we're not. Don't veer away from this $5 deal. Honest to God, it is keeping me alive. Okay, it is keeping me alive. Let me tell you what's in this $5 deal, Larry.
It's short term, but yeah.
Okay, let me tell you. Can you tell I'm so excited about this $5 deal because I'm like hemorrhaging money trying to feed these 3 teenage boys. You get a McDouble. That is a double cheeseburger.
Oh, that's a good.
You get
burger.
a 4-piece fry. You get a 4-piece nugget, a small fry, which. That is a good amount of fries. Small fry is a good amount of fries. Sure. And then a small drink. It is the perfect amount of food for my kids. Now, they're hungry 5 minutes later, but the point is...
I was going to say, you've got 3 teenage boys, so what do you get? You get 3 $5 meals each. Still $15.
I know!
$15 each kid.
So no, I will tell you for one of my sons, I always get an extra McDouble, which is on their $3 meal. So basically I'm getting... For $8, he's getting 2 double cheeseburgers. Anyway, the point is that McDonald's is really on the pulse of the average American trying to make it in this economy by coming up with these deals. And a lot of, frankly, Wendy's and Taco Bell, they all have these deals. Believe me, I know. And so they all have these deals. And so to go there, I felt like it was really smart from the idea of, a lot of people are now going to McDonald's and getting these kinds of cheap deals. And then he goes and you compare this to the Lizzo appearance of her getting on the private jet and then flying to Detroit to get on stage with Kamala. This was beautiful, smart optics.
It was brilliant optics. It humanizes Trump, and he's been getting opportunities to be more humanized ever since, they tried to blow his head off and took part of his ear away. We're going to let you hear some of the audio from this event, why it matters, why this is a big deal, and then you'll hear how MSNBC reacted, because it's just delicious. All that coming up in mere moments. First, though, it's 6:15.
WMAL. Making sense of the news. Live from the Home Paramount Pest Control Studios.
Home Paramount, the leader in pest control since 1939.
Tight. You got the salt on it. Never touches the human hand.
Very good.
Nice and full.
Thank you.
Good.
I love them running commentary. Tight. Get some salt. Never touches the human hand as he fills up the little carton.
I know,
nice and full. It's great. It's just great. So there's Trump working the fries because Kamala Harris claimed that she worked the fries. So there's Trump working the fries in his pristine Brooks Brothers white dress shirt and red tie, but then the signature blue and yellow apron over it. It's Donald McDonald, my friend, and it was a beautiful thing to behold. But even better than just working the fries, they then had him work different. Which, by the way, this also tells you what a lie Kamala Harris's line is because she kept saying, "I just worked the fries. No, everyone rotates shifts at a McDonald's.
That's right.
You do different shifts." And so they rotated Donald Trump over to the window. Now, everybody who got through the line was screened by Secret Service, so they knew they were going to get Donald Trump at the window. But still, imagine.
Yeah.
Just imagine the sight to behold. And here he was, cut 17. This is Trump handing the food off to somebody in a car as they drove up on the drive-through window.
Okay, let's say. You believe this? Look at this guy. He's a MAGA guy all the way.
Okay, so for his first order, yup.
Well, that's a good-looking group. Hello, everybody. This is not a normal situation, is it, huh? Oh, what a good-looking family. How did you produce those good-looking kids? Oh, they look like the wife. They look like the wife. How are you? Nice to see you. That's great. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. And there'll be no charge. Trump is paying for it. Is that okay? Oh, you're doing some extra stuff.
Oh, okay,
this is all on Trump.
Oh, all on Trump.
I'm allowed to do that, right?
Yes.
Huh?
Let's check and make sure it's everything you said it would be.
It better be. It's going to be the best you ever. I made it myself.
You're the man. Make America great.
That's their order. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good time. Have a good time. That's.
All right. So there's that. Also, somebody put out on Twitter, they took a picture. He gave 7 Chicken McNuggets in a 6 Chicken McNugget box. And so somebody put the picture out there saying, look what Trump's already delivering more than he promised.
That is so great. I will just tell you, once my son got 11 nuggets instead of 10, and he still talks about it. That's a big moment.
See?
You get an extra nugget.
All right. A woman drives through. She's from Brazil. She's got her daughters in the back seat. Also, like maybe probably born here, but of Brazilian heritage. Listen to this, cut 18.
A lot of fun here, everybody.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Look at all the fake news over there. Hello, everybody.
You can fake this,
And
right?
you know this is compliments of Trump, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes.
please don't let the United States become Brazil, my native Brazil.
We'll keep it
Please.
good.
Please.
We're going to make it better than ever, okay?
Thank you.
Listen to that.
Thank you.
Please don't let America become like Brazil.
Thank you so much.
All right. It's just, so that's the thing. Yes, this was a photo op. Yes, it was a stunt. Yes, it was imagery, which, by the way, don't diminish that. That's incredibly important in a presidential campaign. But then he has interactions with voters like this. Listen to this one. This one will absolutely, this is a gentleman of Indian descent driving through. This is cut 19. Listen to what he says.
I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Mr.
Look at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Nice to see you.
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you.
You're not ordinary.
I mean, thank you so much
You
for
are not
everything you're
ordinary.
doing.
I can see.
We pray for you, and you are the type of person we want to be the president.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that at the end?
Oh.
Thank you for taking a bullet for us. And he said, you make it so that ordinary people like us, and Trump immediately, you're not ordinary.
I know.
You're not ordinary at all. It's just, and again, can Kamala do maybe Kamala can do it. I don't know. You want to know how bad this was? Look at, you're getting you're having an emotional reaction.
Can you tell I'm being really quiet?
I am too.
Yes.
It is, this is good politics. And I got to tell you, the image of him at the window, and he went out and he waved through the drive-through window, and you can hear this crowd of people, like thousands of people who were there, and they all went nuts for him. The way they have gone after Trump, and the way they've denigrated, the way they've attacked him, and the assassination attempt, and then the second assassination attempt, and the lawfare, and the prosecutions, and everyone in their heart in America knows that it's not fair. They have somehow turned this man, who, by the way, let's be honest, is kind of crass and kind of rude and kind of obnoxious because he's a New Yorker. Yeah. They have turned him into Ronald Reagan. They have. I'm telling you, You see these images of him smiling and waving out a McDonald's drive-thru and crowds screaming for him. And they have gone beyond humanizing him. They have turned him into this iconic folklore political hero.
Well, and very quickly, he's also, as they have tried to dehumanize this man, there is no doubt that this is humanizing. This makes him seem so nice and so relatable. And I will say this, Trump loves people. He loves people. He loves interacting with people. And when you have these moments like this, you can't deny it. You can't deny it.
Very much unlike Barack Obama, by the way. And I think the book is still out on Kamala Harris. So the Washington Post headline, Trump serves McDonald's fries to supporters in stage-managed campaign stop. And then look at the subheadline from the Washington Post. Trump didn't answer a question on the minimum wage. And wait, it gets even better. Listen to how MSNBC reacted. This is a cut 20. Listen. You got
on his campaign, and I know you are certainly not. I'm not making any implication of that. But what is the logic behind this? Going to a McDonald's? I mean, we know the guy likes Big Macs and filet of fish, and he's used the word love to describe the way he feels about the food there before. But what's this about?
There's no logic to it. It's a stunt. He has not put forth an economic agenda.
She went on and on, but that's the MSNBC.
But I do love the stage managed campaign stop, and it was a stunt. Yeah, Trump didn't actually apply to go work at McDonald's. People, we all know that. Okay, he didn't need a summer job.
David Frum went on X and said this. He didn't really work there. They shut down the restaurant for the day.
This staged.
It's like,
David. Thanks, David.
We know that.
I know you think you're smarter than everyone, David, but we all knew that.
This was a great moment, honestly, and this is going to be one of those iconic political events that I think is going to resonate for years to come. It's just like Ronald Reagan at the debate,
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold my opponent's youth and inexperience against him, and that sort of thing. It's one of those. I truly believe that Trump at McDonald's is going to go down as one of those things that we look back on. 624.
Now
on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
It's 6:36 now. It's O'Connor and Company, and we are charging along here. A super busy day. I mean, not as busy as Donald Trump's day. He started with an interview with Howie Carr out of the Boston area yesterday. Then he ran his shift at McDonald's in the Philly area. Then he did a 1 hour plus long town hall in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Then ended the day at a Steelers game where the crowd of Steelers fans started chanting USA when they saw him in a private suite. That man is so exhausted. He's clearly, out of step and too old to function, as you hear from the Kamala Harris campaign on a regular basis. And by the Kamala Harris campaign, I mean the Washington Post, of course.
Yeah, and a certain never Trumpers as well. Always rely on them.
Coming up on this program at 7:05, Joe DeGeneva. 7:35, Trevor Maddich on the Commanders and the 8:05, Maryland State Senator Justin Reedy. That's Julie Gunlock. I'm Larry O'Connor. And this is a disconcerting story that should certainly raise alarm bells everywhere and red flags, and frankly lead to prosecutions, quite possibly for treason. And I'm not overstating the case. Here's the headline from CBS News: U.S. investigating unauthorized release of classified documents on Israel's attack plans. Let's be clear here. These were released to Iran to give Iran a heads up on Israel's planned retaliatory attack against the barrage of ballistic missiles that Iran sent showering down onto the state of Israel. According to the report from CBS News, and this has been backed up by CNN and even some reputable news agencies, the documents are attributed to the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and National Security Agency. That's the NSA. Guys, and note that Israel was still moving military assets in place to conduct a military strike in response to Iran's blistering ballistic missile attack on October 1st. They were shareable within the Five Eyes: U.S., Britain, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia, according to the Associated Press. The documents were posted to a Telegram channel called Middle East Spectator just before 6 p.m. on Thursday. Documents which are marked top secret were first reported on Saturday by CNN and Axios. Speaker Johnson commented on this to Jake Tapper. Take a listen to what Speaker Johnson said.
Yeah, the leak is very concerning. There's some serious allegations being made there, investigation underway, and I'll get a briefing on that in a couple of hours. There's a classified level briefing and then other, but we're following it closely. Look, I talked to my friend Bibi, Prime Minister Netanyahu, yesterday to encourage him. I mean, he's done an extraordinary job, I think, prosecuting that war, and if he had taken Joe Biden's advice, they'd be in a much weaker position right now. I think that the United States needs to stand unequivocally by our ally there right now.
Julie, the post on the Telegram said that these documents came exclusively, quote, from an informed source within the U.S. intelligence community, unquote. The investigation examining how they were obtained and whether they were leaked by a member of the U.S. intelligence community or by another method. And, of course, we know that the person that Joe Biden hired to be his point person to Iran is actually under an investigation. He has lost his security clearance, and he is being investigated. Robert Malley, I believe his name is, for potential leaks and well, I don't even want to go too far into what he's being investigated for, but it has to do with his inappropriate relationship with Iran. And he brought other people into this government who were still working, one of them in the Pentagon, who had ties to the Tehran government.
Yeah, this is this Ariane Tabatabai. She's the chief of staff.
Now you know why I didn't try to pronounce her name.
Yes, she's chief of staff, assistant secretary of defense for special operations. She's also an officer in the U.S. Naval Intelligence. She has access to all naval movements and all special forces operations in the world, and specifically the Middle East. She is a protege of Robert Malley, and there are questions about her. And we have seen this for years. It is really disturbing. There was a official named Mehar Bittar. He was Biden's senior director for intelligence programs on the White House National Security Council staff. But he was also an official of UNRWA at the time that group was providing material support to terrorists, to Hamas, to Hezbollah. You have a senior CIA official, Amy McFadden, who is caught posting images in solidarity with Hamas and Facebook. She's still at the CIA. And then, of course, this Ariane Tabatabai, who was actually part of this Islamic government, it was called the Iran Expert Initiative, to try to sort of bolster Tehran's image in the U.S. So we are infiltrated throughout the federal government. And these people have clearances and have access to information. Not surprised there's some leaking going on.
But they're worried about documents in a locked office at Mar-a-Lago. There we get an armed raid of the FBI going through Melania Trump's underwear drawer. And right here in Washington, D.C., they've got somebody apparently, allegedly leaking information about an imminent attack from our ally, Israel, against our sworn enemy, the country that calls us the Great Satan, who is currently posing an assassination plot against Donald Trump. And yet we're going after Melania Trump's underwear drawer.
And again,
From the Axios article, U.S. officials are extremely concerned. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, that makes me happy. They're extremely concerned, Julie.
Yeah.
Are they extremely concerned about? Are they as concerned about Americans going to traditional Latin mass, or maybe parents going to a school board meeting? U.S. officials are extremely concerned about a potentially major security breach after 2 alleged U.S. intelligence documents about Israel's preparations for an attack on Iran were published by a Telegram account. And let me be clear. Let me just button this up real fast, and we got more to talk about as the morning goes on. These were documents that were a result of U.S. surveillance. These were not – Israel doesn't share their plans with us anymore because they know that we're compromised. These were – we surveilled Israel. We spy on them. We gathered this information. We had it, and somebody, it appears, within the U.S. government leaked it and posted it. And why this isn't getting more coverage, well, you can fill in the blanks yourself. It is 6:43.
Headlines, analysis, perspective.
From the voices you trust.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
We are making sense of the news here, and we're making sense of what happens on those other news outlets that you rightfully and righteously ignore. We watch it so you don't have to. And there's something interesting. There's a trend happening this election cycle, Julie, that I've noticed. CNN, MSNBC, even the broadcast networks Here, take a listen. This is a good example. Cut 22 here, CNN.
The business sector in the Arab American community. And I was really surprised this week to get an earful to hear them say that they would much rather either vote a third party, not vote at all, or vote for Donald Trump. And I'm telling you, it's not obviously a significant sample size, but I cannot find one Arab American within my social circle in business or personally who have said that they will vote for Kamala Harris. When you look at the polling, it seems sort of neck and neck.
All right. So that's Rena Ninan, CNN, talking. I can't find a single Arab American voting for Kamala Harris. And then you get other examples of this. Here's MSNBC this weekend. They found a pair of Michigan voters, African Americans, appears to be in Wayne County, Michigan. Listen to them.
Focus in on abortion. We have constitutional protected abortion here in Michigan. It's not an issue. I don't have a uterus anymore. My husband never had a uterus, but we have utility bills. We have grocery bills.
Larry, you need to find those people and take them to dinner.
I don't have a uterus. And I love in Kamala Harris's America, she has to definitively say, my husband does not have a uterus.
Right.
Because some husbands could. We don't have a uterus, but we have utility bills.
I love it. I love it.
And she said, all they're talking about is abortion. That's all. And by the way, we should say the same thing about Angela Alsobrooks here in Maryland. It's like Maryland uteruses are protected if that's what you want. The people living inside those uteruses don't have much protection.
Yeah. Good luck.
But the people who own the uterus, you're going to be fine. But the larger story here is, you remember in 2016 where everyone was like, oh, we missed the story that was happening out there. We missed it. No, they didn't try to find the story. They didn't care to find the story. All they cared about was sitting in their studios and saying Hillary's going to win. They are proactively going out now. They're interviewing people in these states. They're trying to find out what's on their minds. And they routinely are finding the majority of the people they talk to are going to vote for Trump. Now, I don't know if it makes a difference in how they approach this story, but they're certainly, listen, they and their viewers cannot say they didn't see this coming because they're definitely setting the stage.
Larry, and this just reminds me of the sort of questions that were going around last week. They're trying to figure out why men don't like Kamala, why men won't vote for Kamala. And what that woman said is, I don't have a uterus. My husband never had a uterus. We're not really thinking about abortion, but we do have utilities, and we're trying to afford food. Maybe those people who legitimately don't have a uterus aren't really interested in the only thing Kamala talks about.
And from a media perspective, which is really sort of what I find fascinating here, if you're listening through the lines or reading through the lines, I am giving them a smidgen, a modicum of credit here for the fact that they're actually sending people out to talk, because they didn't do this in 2016. They didn't even try. They didn't care. They didn't think it was an issue. They are, in fact, talking to voters in these states. They are hearing that they don't like Kamala Harris and they're leaning toward Donald Trump, or they're definitively voting for Donald Trump. Now, that's as far as the credit goes, the fact that they're even doing this segment. So let's be clear. They're treating these people like they're aliens from another planet.
Yes.
They are talking about them when they go back to studio like they're morons and like that they don't get it and that they're terrible and they're stupid.